Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you think you already know the deal with COPD, prepare to be surprised. Today, we're breaking down the groundbreaking updates to the GOLD 2026 guidelines. And honestly, it completely reframes everything we thought we knew about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The landscape of respiratory medicine is going through an absolute revolution right now. Let's quickly run through our roadmap for today. We'll start with the global crisis, look at what's beyond the smoker stigma, cover diagnosing and staging, dive into the very real danger of exacerbations, explore this 2026 treatment revolution, and finish up with how we're moving forward. Section 1, the global crisis. Let's establish exactly why this condition is demanding our immediate attention. 390 million. Think about that number for a second. That's how many people are living with COPD right now. It is the third leading cause of death on the planet. And with aging populations and, constant environmental exposure, we're on track to hit nearly 600 million cases by 2050. Section 2, beyond the smoker stigma. We really need to shatter the biggest myth out there, this idea that COPD is exclusively a smoker's cough. It's actually more of an umbrella term. It covers two distinct, but often overlapping, structural issues in the lungs. On one side, you have emphysema, which physically destroys the tiny air sacs, the alveoli, and on the other, chronic bronchitis, which inflames the airway tubes. Both basically lead to this persistent, progressive roadblock for your breathing. So why does this actually happen? Well, modern medicine points to a concept called genomics. Essentially, it's a lifetime collision of your genetics and your environment. It's not just one single thing. It's a complex, cumulative process happening over the entire timeline of your life. When you look at the true taxonomy of this disease, you quickly realize cigarette smoking is just one piece of a massive puzzle. The 2026 guidelines make it crystal clear. Genetics, abnormal lung development, early childhood infections, and overall pollution are major independent drivers of COPD. Get this. Up to 45% of all COPD patients have literally never touched a cigarette. Crazy, right? In low and middle income countries, the main culprit is actually everyday cooking smoke from biomass fuels like wood or animal dung. You add in genetic factors like alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency or even a history of childhood asthma, and suddenly you're looking at a completely different, much broader patient demographic. Section 3, diagnosing and staging COPD. So, how does this actually play out in the clinic? If someone comes in with persistent worsening dyspnea, which is just medical speak for shortness of breath, or they've got a chronic cough, recurrent wheezing, or they keep getting these lower respiratory infections, those are major clinical red flags. That prompts an urgent evaluation. But symptoms are pretty subjective. Someone might just think they're out of shape. So, how do pulmonologists objectively prove what's going on? The absolute gold standard is spirometry. It's a breathing test that measures exactly how much and how fast you can forcefully exhale. If the ratio of air you can push out drops below 0.70, even after using an inhaler to open things up, that confirms persistent obstruction. That's your definitive diagnosis. Once we have that diagnosis, doctors use the GOLD grading system to map out the severity. It's basically a scale. It goes from GOLD 1, which is mild, all the way down to GOLD 4, where lung capacity is severely compromised at less than 30%. And that specific grade dictates exactly how aggressive the treatment strategy needs to be. Section 4, the danger of exacerbations. This brings us to the terrifying climax of the COPD journey. Exacerbations are these acute flare-ups where breathing just suddenly falls off a cliff. It's a medical emergency. Doctors use a 5-step framework to work incredibly fast to stabilize the patient, all while ruling out other critical mimics, like heart failure or severe pneumonia. Now here is the massive, game-changing paradigm shift for 2026. We are no longer waiting for multiple hospital visits to take aggressive action. The new guidelines state that a single moderate flare-up permanently accelerates the loss of lung tissue. Just one. So one exacerbation now triggers an immediate escalation in treatment. Which brings us to Section 5, the 2026 treatment revolution. To fight these exacerbations, respiratory medicine is having an absolute renaissance. The current playbook is incredibly structured and highly personalized. Step 1 is immediate symptom relief. Step 2 builds the foundation with dual long-acting bronchodilators to keep the airways open all day. Then, instead of just guessing, doctors step up to triple therapy based on specific blood biomarkers, like eosinophil counts. This ensures the right patient gets the right anti-inflammatory at the exact right time. Just look at this cutting-edge arsenal we have now. We've got breakthrough non-steroidal treatments like Ohtuvayre, which literally cuts flare-ups by about 40%. We also have oral meds like roflumilast and highly targeted biologics like dupilumab. Dupilumab is a first-in-class monoclonal antibody that actually modifies the immune system's inflammatory response. It's truly revolutionary stuff. Section 6. Moving forward. Because let's be real, pharmaceuticals alone aren't going to solve the whole puzzle. Holistic, non-pharmacological care isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. According to the 2026 guidelines, these are absolutely essential, evidence-based, disease-modifying strategies. We're talking about things like targeted pulmonary rehab to build exercise capacity, proper nutritional support to fight muscle loss, and staying completely up to date on annual vaccines to prevent viral triggers. Oh, and smoking cessation? That's still the single most effective way to slow the progression. These steps literally train a patient's body to breathe easier and keep them out of the hospital. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, the era of a one-size-fits-all approach to COPD is completely dead. It's been replaced by deeply personalized, biomarker-driven, multidimensional care that actually respects the unique genetic and environmental history of every single patient. Early detection is absolutely crucial to halting this disease before permanent damage is done. So, I want to leave you with this. Who in your life might be brushing off a chronic cough or shortness of breath as simply getting older? The guidelines have changed, the treatments have evolved, and sharing this explainer with them might literally change their life. Thanks for joining us today.